Hello everyone, and we are live on this beautiful Monday morning. It's been a while since I've been live on this profile, and today we're going to cover something that's near and dear to my heart, and it's very timely, and it's how to run an annual charity trivia event. We've done one for the last 7 years. Speaking to a client this morning, she said, Jamie, how do you run one? And I figured I'd lay out our step-by-step plan of how we do it. And in my opinion, my belief, if you have a group gym, you have over 100 members, like, why wouldn't you? It's an absolute no-brainer to raise money for people that need it, people in need, charities, and also it does amazing things for your community and retention. You can also get a shit ton of referrals. So let me share this into our Facebook group, Fitness Business Growth, and then we can rock in. Hope everyone had a lovely, lovely weekend. I'm in Newcastle, New South Wales. The sun is out for the next 3 days. You can try and take full advantage of that. Our Facebook group, Fitness Business Growth, pretty cool. Lots of shit in there. Our Facebook ads, our sales script, everything to run a successful gym is in that group. We hold nothing back. So if you want to join, the link will be in the comments after this. If you join the group, I'm not going to slide into your DM with an inbox. I'm not that type of guy. So we are now into the group. On the podcast the other day, I was talking to Josh about, if I'm talking about sales and marketing, I can talk for hours and hours without needing notes because I'm so confident in what I'm speaking about. But to be honest, Mitch is the mastermind behind our charity event. So I've taken down a bunch of notes and a few things that I want to tick off so that I don't actually forget. So first things first, I guess, why would you run an event in general? So at Breakthrough Active Adamstown, Breakthrough Active Cardiff, we run monthly, sometimes quarterly events, depending on what year it's been. It is such an amazing thing for your members to get behind. And what I mean by that is you want your gym to be the third place. So they've got their work, they've got their family, and they've got the gym. And the same way that sport was my outlet growing up, you want the gym to be the outlet for the adults. And we're not just selling workouts. I don't think results matter that much at all. People want a place they can come to have fun, to meet people, to have that adult conversation outside of the workplace, and to give them the opportunity to do it outside the gym. It does wonders for your retention. And it is very, very, very easy to cancel a gym membership. Incredibly difficult to cancel a community. So the idea would be is if your 6 a.m. session has the same 20 people in it every single day, every single week, every single month for year on year, if someone cancels their gym membership, they no longer have access to the community. Eventually the friendships will die out. So you want your gym to be the place where people make friends, and that community is really, really strong. So when you're running events, one thing that we've learned is we used to just have massive fucking piss ups like every month, like big nights out. I love a drink, so does Mitch, and that's what we used to do. But we quickly found out that if we were doing piss ups, only a certain percentage of members would come that like drinking, that like partying, that like going out until 3 a.m. So what you want to do is you want to have a wide range of events. And what I mean by that is you want to have some events that are the Christmas parties, that are trivia nights, that are karaoke nights. We're going to have cool and casual events where it's like a picnic in the park. In Newcastle, we have a Merriweather to Bar Beach walk. So you want to vary the events based on what the event actually is and what happens at what time and what day to ensure that all members feel included in the community. So this event is our longest running event. It's our annual charity trivia night. Our first one was in 2016 with our location in Kurri Kurri, New South Wales. Really, really sad. One of our members' best friend, her husband passed away from a sudden heart attack, and they were left with a mortgage. To be honest, I don't even know. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it's like to lose a loved one because I don't. But she was left with a mortgage, school fees, just the typical things to provide for a family. And she was really struggling financially. And a member came up to me and goes, Jamie, what can we do? How can we support her? And then we put together an annual trivia night. And believe it or not, lots of the things I got from how we run a community in my gym, I got from my old AFL club, the Terrigal Avoca Panthers. They have an amazing community where, like, after the games, you go back to the club every Saturday night. They'd have trivia events, they'd have ping pong nights, they'd have beer pong nights, and of course the Christmas party. So I thought, okay, let's steal that model and let's do an annual trivia night. So at the point in time, we had probably, oh man, maybe 480 members. It was just before we hit the peak there. I know 480 sounds like a lot, but it's a different time in 2015 compared to 2023. And we just posted on Facebook, annual charity trivia night, X date, X location, and it blew up. We had over 200 people there. It was amazing. And what we did was we'd announce the event 8 weeks out. We'd simply post on socials, post in our Facebook group. We'd have signs all over the gym. Like, you could not walk into the gym and not see the signs. Today, I have our trainers talking about it, but then I was the trainer, so was Mitch, and we were constantly asking them, hey, are you on the trivia? Are you on the trivia? Are you on a table yet? We can put you on a table, that type of stuff. So what we tried to do is we'd have a time slot. For example, we had 5:15, 6:45, 9 a.m., 9:45, 4:15, 5 p.m., 5:45. And we try and get 1 or 2 tables per time slot. So for example, 6 a.m. session, you might have 15 people in there. If you can get all 15 people there and have 2 tables of 8, that's amazing, right? But what happened is we probably have 4 members on the table, and those 4 members would invite their partners, which would make 1 table. So the idea would be is you would try and have at least 1 table per time slot. And the thing is, like, that time slot, the 6 a.m., if they're always coming, they want to go there. And it just builds a tremendous amount of excitement leading up to it. So the other thing too is, like, if members are bringing their partners, if members are bringing their friends, what an opportunity for a first impression of, hey, we're just more than a gym. And we had maybe 100 people that weren't members, and we get their name, phone number, email on the way in just to know who they are. And you can just text them after saying, hey, thanks for coming to the true event. Really, really appreciate it. By the way, like, would you like a 7-day free trial? So I love win-wins. And if we can raise money for charity and get referrals, more power to us. So we do that. Now, from there, we would just constantly, like, 8 weeks nonstop. It was everything that was leading up to it. We would post, like, pictures of me and Mitch having a few too many, trying to make a laugh of it. We were the hosts too. That's one thing that I am very, very, very passionate about. I think the owner or the trainers should be the host. And we were on stage for 4 hours with a microphone. How we did it was we actually wrote the questions ourselves. We'll post the questions below. And the questions are shit easy. We're not talking about, like, how many kilometers is Pluto from the sun. It is name the 6 characters in Friends, because we want people to get a lot of answers right, and we want them to actually enjoy themselves. So Mitch would ask the questions up on stage, and then I would walk around and read out the answers with a microphone, and I was just making fun of everyone for 4 hours straight. And as you can imagine, as people started drinking more and more into the night, by the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round of questions, it was all out madness. So yeah, I love them. It's literally my favorite night of the year. So what we do is we would have, that's how we'd organize it. And then from there, really important, how you get a venue. So we've done it several ways. You can get a community hall. So if you go to any council community halls, there's a long list of ones you can rent. We used to use the Walls End Pioneer Hall. We had 240-ish people there one night. But the thing is, 2 options. You can hire a community hall for about $30 an hour, or if you say it's for charity, you'll probably get it for free. And the last one, the most recent one, which was really cool, was at Merriweather Surf House. Beautiful place. And it was like a wedding venue. It was so nice. And we actually got that venue for free too, due to the fact that it was for charity. So typically there's a few options. Sometimes you get the event for the venue for free, like the room for free, but you have to pay for a certain amount of food. Or sometimes you got to pay for the room and the food. So this venue was free. We had to spend X amount on food. I'm not sure exactly what it was. So what you do is, let's say you have 200 people there, and you were charging $40 per head. That's $8,000. Let's say that you put $10 towards food, which is like pie, sausage rolls, those fucking cheesy spinach things that are great. So the $2,000 would go to food. Therefore, you got $6,000 left over. Straight away, $6,000 for that local family in need. And then from there, we'd also have other games on the night too. So we'd have 8 rounds of questions, and between rounds 2 and 3, between rounds 5 and 6, and before announcing the winner, we'd have games. So between 2 and 3, we'd have the classic Who Am I game, where it's like I was born in Akron, Ohio, and I play basketball. And a table would yell out and say LeBron James. So every table gives you $10 to participate in the game, and the person who wins the game wins the table amount, right? So if there's 20 tables and they all pay $10 per table, it's $200 if they win that question. And of course, you say, would you like to keep the money or give it back to the family? And they always say, give it back to the family, except one time, just one time in 7 years where the table actually kept the fucking money and bought alcohol with it. So that's the first game. The second game is the classic game that you've probably played before, where you have a lineup of people and they throw a $2 coin at a bottle of Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or whatever the case may be. And that goes for about 10 minutes. I'll be at the front with the microphone, and as they're lining up, I would do my best version of stand-up comedy, and I would make a comment about the member. And it was just really, really fun, really engaging. I get tons of shit. Mitch gets tons of shit too, which is good. And I think for far too long, trainers, the perception of trainers is that we eat chicken and broccoli, have no fun, no drinking. And to see us in that light, we were instantly relatable to our members. Now, the third game is actually my favorite game of all. So we would ask 20 tables, and we'd ask the table to send up the funniest person on that table before they knew what they're actually doing. And it was our dirty joke round. So the dirtiest joke possible, like no one's cancelled, whatever you want to say is fair. And we'd have 20 people read out dirty jokes, and it was absolutely outlandish. I was all for it. It was really, really funny. And just, you have like a member who's like 67 and she had the dirtiest thing I've ever heard in my life. So the dirty joke round, same principles for table pays 10, dirty joke winner gets the money. They always give it back. Now from there, when you have the charity night, you can say the winner gets $500. Once again, the table that wins, do you want to keep the money or give it to charity? They always give it to the charity. So that is kind of how we organize the event. That is how we structure it. That is how we run it. In terms of choosing the charity, more often than not, it's horrible to say and to even think about. But if you've got 100 members, there's a friend, a family member that is going through a hard time. They've just been diagnosed with X. They suffered with Y. And if it's a member that's going through a hard time, the entire fucking gym will get around it. If it's a friend or a family, they'll still get around it, but not the same. And if there is no one, then we'd actually choose the charity. So we've helped a person whose husband died from a heart attack in Kurri Kurri. We had a lady who was a daughter of a member that was really struggling to fall pregnant, and she went through IVF. It was amazing. She had 2 kids now, which is really cool to see. There was another one where it was a person who had a workplace accident in a mine, like literally like horrible, but like they were, I don't know what the political correct way to say it. They were in a wheelchair, they couldn't talk, couldn't move, and they couldn't breathe. Like they were like assisted living almost. And the ones that I really like doing is for Dog Rescue Newcastle. I've got 2 dogs, Lily and Sparkles, mini foxies. Probably see them running around the background of my videos sometimes. I got them from there, so I'm a massive fan of Dog Rescue Newcastle, so I like raising money for them. But that is how you do it. And once again, like I am extremely proud that we have raised $66,000 for local families in need. We have been featured in the Cessnock Advertiser, Maitland Mercury for these events. We get tons of free press, tons of referrals. And the other thing too is like members want to be a part of something bigger. And for them to give back is really cool. And as I mentioned at the start of the live video, like I just don't know why you wouldn't do this. Literally, it's my favorite event of the year. We've raised a ton of money for families, and when we give the money to the family, it's such a great feeling. And we used to actually, we don't anymore. It was a really painful experience, but we used to actually get massive like checks designed, and then we'd hang them in the gym. So if someone walks into the gym straight away, they'd, oh, what's that, right? So I think if you're a local business, especially being a gym owner, we have massive networks. I'm a bit of a nerd. I love Marvel, love Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. It's your responsibility to use that network to its fullest to help the community. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. I hope I answered all of the questions that my client had this morning. I'm just having a look if there's anything else I've missed. That's it. So 8 weeks out, post on socials, Facebook groups, signs in the gym, have your trainers talking about it non-stop. Oh, one thing I didn't mention too is like, you don't want any member to be left out. So quite often, if there is a member, actually it's probably one of the best things too, if there is a member that's a bit of an outcast or a new member or isn't a part of, unfortunately, all gyms have cliques, the cliques, I would try and put that member on that table, right? So it's a great way to integrate people that are on the edge of the community and throw them right into the community. Then you're booking community hall or a Leeds club. More often than not, you can get both them for free if you just pay for the food. I would spend as little as possible on food, pie, sausage rolls, the typical shit at every function ever. So more money goes to the family, and people aren't there to eat, they're there to drink. I would have the trainers host the event, so don't hire a trivia company. You can write the questions yourself, and like just have like one on movies, one on sport. We have one on Newcastle. We have one on. Actually, we have a really good round. It's about the trainers. So it'd be like our most embarrassing moment. So in 2011, who got arrested on a football trip? Me. Right, so that's really cool too, where you can actually write questions about the trainers and members can answer. We also have a members round too, which is pretty funny, where it's like, what's the most likely known to be late to the gym, right? So just try and have as much fun as possible. Have those 3 games, and I think you're gonna surprise yourself at how well it does. And I think you're gonna surprise yourself at how much it actually helps with retention, right? Because my belief, my opinion, I try and say it before I speak because it's not right or wrong, it's just what I've lived through. If a member is struggling with attendance, i.e. they're coming once a week, if you get them to an event, it's like 3 months of good attendance. Or if the event is 8 weeks out and a member is on a table and they're struggling with attendance, they're not going to cancel before the event. It's the reason why events work so well. So hope that helps. I'm gonna probably make a written post about this too. But yeah, I'm so excited for Friday. Gonna put a suit on for once and host tonight. So thank you for watching.